Welcome to Random Conflux, the most must-see talk show topic thing. I don't know. These intros are just getting worse.
Yeah, we're talking a little bit about gaming news. Sony is releasing their PS5 Pro.
No, you told us too soon. Now they know the end of the video. They're not going to watch it now.
This is kind of old news. I'm sure you guys have probably heard about this already, but honestly, what's your opinion on it? I mean...
Well, first, we're still in the intro phase. Yes. I'm Zach.
I'm John, yes.
And this is Random Conflux, only available on YouTube.
Yes.
Sometimes Matt pushes us on his TikTok, but anyways, if you're from here, you want to go see Matt on TikTok, go ahead. Go. I think it's Matthew Precup.
Yeah.
On TikTok.
Something like that.
Or Emerald Grizzly on TikTok.
Something like that, one of the two.
Matt, if you're watching this, correct us in the description below. Yes. But anyways, back to the video. Shameless plug. Now put it.
Yes.
And as John already said, we're talking about the PS5 fucking Pro.
You had to hyphen the F word in there, didn't you? Yes. No, it's called the PS5 Pro, but there's no disc drive, and it's $700. You can get a gaming PC for that much, and it's better quality.
Okay, let's just break it down a little bit. Let's just get into the nitty gritty and really explain what the PS5 Pro really is. Yeah. Okay, as you know, a PS5 is the latest generation of the PlayStation consoles made by Sony. Mm-hmm. As of right now, if I'm not mistaken, you can correct me, but it's just a shittier version of the PS4. Well, with a little bit better graphics.
PS5, you mean?
No, I'm talking about the PS5 being a shittier version of the PS4. And just another way for you to play Spider-Man. Listen, Sony.
Spider-Man's a good game,
Spider-Man's not that important, just hog them all to yourself. You know, some other people that don't give two shits about your consoles may want to play it. So do with that as you will. But anyways, getting back to the PS5 Pro, it's a PS5 without a disc tray and slightly better graphics.
And a 2 terabyte hard drive.
And a 2 terabyte whoopie-doo hard drive.
No, I'm looking at the specs. It's a faster clock speed, a bigger hard drive, and that's about it as far as pros.
Whoopee! And all the value of taking away a fucking disc drive. How dare you, Sony, to put a $700 price tag on something less more important? How do you sleep at night?
Zach, breathe.
I'm breathing. But when people realize the stupidity of this and actually go buy it in stores, I'm pretty sure they're going to be left breathless.
Yep. Now, in their defense, they're making an external disk drive.
Whoopie-dippy-doo. Well, you could have just put the actual disc drive in the console for the $700 fucking dollars. But you take away the fucking disc drive, charge $700 fucking dollars for a little bit better freaking graphics and 2 fucking terabytes of data.
Yeah, honestly, I like.
Hold on.
Okay.
And possibly selling an external disk drive for approximately around $200 or so fucking dollars.
Well, let me look at the price. I'm curious.
Do I understand that correctly?
You're probably right. I'm looking.
Do I understand that? I'm just curious on if I understand the facts.
The external disk drive is $79.99 at Target.
Whoopie dippy do.
So you're paying. Hold on. You're paying $79.
Hold on. Let me just do the math here. You're paying $700 for a disk drive-less PS5 with a little bit of fancy blah 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 blah, with some 2 terabyte freaking memory, without the probability of playing your PS5 said games. And paying an extra, rounded up to $80, probably close to 90 after tax, for you to be able to play said PS5 disc games. In total, you would probably be paying close to $1,000 or so for said a PS5 with a little bit of a steroid boost. Am I understanding that correctly?
Yes.
Is my math mathing here?
A little bit.
So, I can't honestly suggest anybody to go out and spend $1,000 if they actually have a PS5, all because they want a little bit extra graphic enhancement to it.
No.
Because I don't think they're going to sell anything just for that Pro, just to give an enhancement. If they do, it's fucking stupid.
No, for $5.
And just hold on 1 second. Let me just clarify. Yeah. I'm not saying don't buy their product. Yeah. I'm just saying with the economy as it is,
it's too much.
Weigh the value.
Yeah.
You were told technically what to expect with the PS5 Pro. It's a PS5, little bit slight enhancement to the graphics, a little bit of a boost in probably load speed.
Yeah.
2 terabytes worth of data. I know that it sounds really promising, but let me get to the straight facts. You're not getting a fucking disk drive for that amount of money. You have to pay extra for the fucking disk drive. To me, it's not worth it.
Yep. Now, on the other hand, I do think the Series S was worth it because it was cheaper than the Xbox One X.
Yes, and you were expecting to not have a disk drive and slightly less downgraded features from the actual bigger Xbox X.
Yeah, they told you what you were getting and it was cheaper.
Like you said, it was priced accordingly to what was taken out.
Yeah.
Like, okay, here's an S version. It's going to do a little bit better on internet graphics. It's going to do a little bit better on playing your downloaded games. But at a kickback, you're not getting a disc drive. Yeah. And you're going to get a little bit lower quality.
Yeah.
If you pay the extra $100 and some, you got a disc drive, but it was called something else. It was called the X.
Yep. Now, if you want to spend $1,000, you can get an Xbox Series S, a mini PC for about $300 that's meant for gaming, and a Switch.
For all the price that you would have to pay to get a PS5 Pro.
Yes.
And to buy an external PS5 Pro hard drive.
Disk drive.
To play the discs. and basically breaking the bank.
Mm-hmm.
In my honest opinion, I cannot, in good health, say that that's anywhere close to being okay to buy.
Yeah.
Or okay to be in that price range.
Yeah. No, if you're going to
the
pay...
X and S were what? $600 for the X and $500 for the S?
$300 for the S. I think the X... I mean, $300 for the S. I think the X is $500. Let me double check.
But anyways, definitely cheaper. Same bells and whistles. Upgraded graphics from the Xbox One.
The X is $490 to $450, depending on where you get it. So that's not... And the S...
Well, I was talking about, like, day one.
Yeah. It was $500.
The S or the X?
The X.
And then the S was $100 cheaper.
It's $300 some places. It's it's between $250 and $280 right now. You live places.
But all that was an upgraded Xbox One.
Yeah.
You know, you were expected, and they even said it really isn't a new console. It's just an upgraded version of, you know, the Xbox One. So they basically...
There are some games that only play on the S and X, but they also...
Well, those are also high in graphics.
Yeah.
But you can still play any Xbox One game on the Xbox X and S.
Yeah. Yeah. Plus, the other thing with the S is too, or the S and X is Microsoft wants you in their ecosystem more than they would in sell consoles. That's why 90% of their games are available via cloud streaming through like Fire Sticks and off your computer now.
Yeah. But Sony is a tightwad and is like a selfish little kid saying, "No, my game, you're not allowed to have it."
Well, they have been putting their games on Steam lately. I'll say that much. But
yeah, 3 years after it's released on whatever console it comes out on. Where you were saying off recording that most Microsoft games for the Xbox is released on PC almost day one.
Yeah, and if they're not, a lot of them are released via cloud streaming on the Xbox app. Which ain't bad. I've used it before, but
that's not really cross-play.
Yeah.
That's not really cross-platform. Saying, okay, I own... Because as far as I understand, Microsoft owns Halo. Let's use that as an example. Halo was one of the games, as far as I remember, that was first introduced cross-platform between PC and Xbox, and then if you wanted to play a version of it and you had PlayStation, there was I forget what it was called, but it was sort of like a master release to give you a little bit more accessibility to play some older versions of Halo on a different system.
Actually, Halo is being released for PlayStation, believe it or not. It's,
I know.
That's what you're talking about, yeah.
Yes. But they do it about once a year. They'll release a version of Halo on PlayStation. But Microsoft is one of those publishers that they don't care what platform the game is going to. As long as people are interested in the games that they make.
Yeah.
Because they're more about selling games than they are the consoles to an extent where Microsoft is a computer company in the first place.
Yeah.
And so is Sony. Sony gets most of their money for like computer builds, gaming rigs, parts for your gaming rig. You can either get from Sony or Microsoft, and one of those gaming rig type of things that Microsoft offers is something that's cross-compatible with the S as well as PC to be able to play Xbox One games on the S if you have a disc. Or if you just want to play them on PC, you can use your disc that would normally go in an Xbox One drive to be able to play on your PC. Sorry, some hiccups going on there. But it's one of those things where they say, and I think it's really fairly priced for what you get. They took the price of the X and they took the price of the S and did the sum. And to me, that was fair.
Yeah.
That was a fair shot for being able to play any Xbox One game legitimately on PC or on an S. If you have the disc.
Yeah.
But if you don't have the disc, obviously the Xbox dashboard has your library for your stored games.
Yeah.
Which allows you to be able to play it on a PC. And as far as I understand, that same dashboard had the ability since day one to be able to incorporate an external hard drive that would be able to play Xbox One games.
Yes and no. Most, if it's not available on PC...
From what I was able to figure from the actual device, the actual hard drive, it was geared towards that app.
Yeah.
But it was also geared towards the ability to play on PC.
Yeah.
But it was pushed more to people that had the S.
Yeah. Now, the Xbox app for PC, great app. I mean, you can cloud stream from your Xbox almost seamlessly if your computer's not powerful enough to run something.
And
you have to have a decent
internet. It a little bit better of a boost because you're also using your CPU.
You have to have a slightly good internet connection,
But I'd also think that that's the one thing that Sony doesn't really understand. I think they're so far up their own millionaire's ass that it's just money. Who's got the money?
Yeah.
And
and
they
honestly,
really don't care about the people that buy their products.
Yeah. Well, all companies care about money.
But there's people that care more about the money than the buyer. And then there's companies that actually care about the buyer to really judge how much a certain thing should cost.
Yep. And honestly, with the...
and with Microsoft, they care about their consumers.
Yeah. Back to the cloud streaming. For some of the topics where I had to get some footage, instead of hooking up the capture card, I was just cloud streaming to my computer. And can you tell? I mean, there may be a couple times where buffers. That's about it.
I mean, slight buffering, but that could be the PC problem.
Yeah.
That could... And I've even seen your PC buffer when not cloud streaming.
Yeah, because lag and stuff.
But... Matter of fact, even recording, I've seen a few buffers with, Audacity...
Hiccups and lag and stuff,
Yeah. While we're recording this, I'm watching some of the delay and the feedback on the wavelength, and it's just one of those things where if it doesn't have enough processing power and you're just putting in too much data too quick, it's gonna stutter, it's gonna slag, it's going to, have a little problem with that feedback.
Yep. And I have a decent PC as far as gaming goes.
Yeah.
I wouldn't say it's top of the line, but it's decent.
Well, mine's more geared towards gaming than
Yours is more top of the line, I admit that.
And yours is more like all general purpose.
Yeah.
Which makes it a lot better as an editing computer than just a all-around gaming computer.
Yeah.
Which my laptop was geared more towards gaming, but I couldn't play the games too long because the CPU was too overpowered for the fan that was in it.
Yeah, and it got too hot.
Yeah. Basically, just rounding that out.
Yeah, that's why Ocarina of Time moved to your other PC.
Less crashes and just all around better PC for my desktop. Mm-hmm. And I was only paying like $250 a month for 10 months.
At Rent-A-Center,
Yeah, and according to math, that rounds up to, I'm going to ballpark it as maybe $250 for 10 months. $2,500, maybe $25,000.
25,000 or 2,500, yeah. 2,500.
So my first part of the math was mathing.
Yeah.
It's good.
And yeah, you paid a little more because you got it at Rent-A-Center, but that's still not a bad price for a computer.
And if you would buy that right out, that's not too bad.
Yeah.
$2,500 for a gaming PC that runs as good as that one does. Mm-hmm. The only problem is I can't play disc games on it. I have to buy an external drive for it.
Yeah.
But it's what I get. But it's also a little less memory. Mm-hmm. It's got a 1.5 terabyte memory card. And I don't know all of the specs of it. Mm-hmm. But it has just an empty slot for a second memory card. And it's got a powerful fan. Mm-hmm. It's got one of the most powerfulest fans for any gaming rig.
Mm-hmm. That's good.
Which helps keep it cool. Mm-hmm. I can play that for about 10 hours. Mm-hmm. And it still not get hot. It depends if the game can handle the problem. Mm-hmm. And usually it'll be the game crapping out before the actual hard, computer crash.
Yeah.
Where anytime my computer crashed, the laptop crashed. It crashed fucking hard. Then I had to shut the laptop off and then let it cool and then reassume where I left off. And it was a nightmare to work with. Mm-hmm. But now it's good. Mm-hmm. We're playing Fallout on it.
Fallout still crashes, but it's also Fallout.
Exactly. Fallout crashes. Well, again, it's Fallout. Mm-hmm. But this isn't really about games we're playing. Mm-hmm. It's about a console that Sony decides, we're going to relaunch the PS5 and just slap tag the last part as Pro. Mm-hmm. It's like, okay, you're paying $700 for just the Pro. The Pro name.
Pretty much.
On the end of a PS5 without a disc reader. Mm-hmm. Again, I'm going to, in bare conscience, say it's not worth the price tag.
Yeah.
Maybe $400, maybe $500, but that's right there. That's a stopping point. And $500 is pushing it. We're not Trump. We're not billionaires. Billions and billions of dollars. And billions with a B. We're not that. Most people buying these products are low class, working their asses off, barely have the opportunity to play what they're buying, especially buying for their kids. The kids aren't going to get an opportunity to really play because, your parents are pushing out those dollars, those hard-earned dollars, to buy a console that can be easily broken by said child, if not given proper supervision. And most games aren't geared towards children. I mean, probably a handful of games. But with that type of price tag, you're not going to let your kids play that shit. And if you're working your ass off at $13 an hour and you have a 9-to-5 job,
you're not going to be able to afford that.
And the 9-to-5 job is technically a little bit more manageable than a 12-hour shift job. You got a 9-to-5 Monday through Friday, and you're bringing home maybe $1,500 a month. On the average, your roundabout is probably going to be your, after paying, let's say you own a house, you probably don't have to pay rent. Well, let's go straight to utilities. Most utilities run you across the board, adding all together with water, electric, gas. Let's say you have all three. Your budget around that is probably on the high end, close to $1,000. On a low end, possibly around $500. That's if you're adding all three. If not adding all three, you're probably looking around $250 for maybe electric, and depending on water, gas, sewage, garbage collection, you're looking around maybe high end $50. Unless you own a dumpster, then there's probably another $50 added on to that.
This is also for our general area. More places are even more. There are places that are even more expensive than that.
If I'm wrong about where you live, go ahead, leave a comment down below. I would like to see what type of money you're looking at in order to judge if buying a PS5 fucking Pro is really worth the fucking money.
Regardless, after bills and utilities, a lot of people are flat broke, plus food. So usually a PS5 or a new console is like their big purchase for the year. And are you going to pay
for the year? But going back to even owning your own house and only having to pay once a year or maybe twice a year for property taxes, that's still going to set you back.
Yeah.
That property taxes alone can rupture the bank.
Yeah.
When it's due, that's why they give you the ability to pay it all at once or to pay in 2 installments.
Yeah.
But not all places give you that option. And I know for a damn sure in New York, it's worse than it is here. Mm-hmm. By the way, I live in West Virginia. He lives in Ohio. So we can roughly say within the two borders, I'm roughly around the right amount for when it comes down to owning a house. along, not counting if you're paying rent. Rent here, I can't speak for where you're living, but rent here is $500 a month. And this is at my stepdad's house.
That's for a cheaper apartment, though. It can go up to like $1,000 a month, depending on what kind of house you have.
Well, yeah. I'm used to, living in houses that I'm paying like $250 a month. Yeah. Plus my utilities. Well, in this apartment, for my stepdad, he doesn't have to pay any of his utilities. It's all in the rent. But where he was going to move, it's $500 a month, $500 down deposit, along with the first month's rent, a total of $1,000, plus the first month's rent of utilities, starting deposit for electric is $500, plus the first month's utility charge will net you around maybe $750 at the low end. Water department around maybe $80. Gas, if there's a gas heater, gas stove. Joked on my own there for a second. But gas furnace, gas stove, something around that line. Installation of, getting the gas turned on. I'm going to cheat and say about $500 for deposit, $250 for the first payment. Totaling to $750 for the gas, $750 for the electric, $1,500, sorry, for a total of the gas and electric, plus let's put 80 on that end of $1,500, so $1,580 just for the 1 month pay for just getting into an apartment for that 1 month. Did I break anybody's brain with that?
My brain was long gone before he started recording.
And that was literally like me just doing the math for the first month in a new apartment. That's not counting having to buy your own stove. That's not counting having to buy your own refrigerator. Because when the people left that apartment, they took the stove and refrigerator with them. So it's your responsibility to buy your own stove and refrigerator if you cannot take yours with you or if you don't have one. So that also sets you back another few $1,000 because the stove alone is going to net you that cost. A refrigerator is going to net you that cost. Plus, let's say you need a washer and dryer. That's going to net you that cost. And speaking of just the price tag of a fucking console that's just a PS5 on a little bit of graphic steroids, it's not worth it. I can't say in good conscience to buy the goddamn fucking console because I would be literally bankrupting the person I'm giving a suggestion to. I can't in good conscience say that it's worth it.
You're better off buying the base one with the disc drive at that point.
You're better off keeping your regular PS5 and going to some place that can upgrade your visual drive. Because I'm pretty sure people have figured out how to fucking do it for a hell of a lot cheaper.
Probably.
Am I getting to that cuss range?
I'm going to have to do some editing.
Yeah, you do that. And I'm just going to keep on going. By the way, I'm going to just throw it in here. These videos are not meant for kids. Yes, kids can watch it. There's not profanity. Well, cussing is profanity, but there's no sexual endos involved. There's no voice humping around and all that other good mumble jumble. It's pleasant for the ears if you're a mature listener. We're not going around telling you to play GTA in real life and go kill the president. Please don't flag me for that.
I might have to cut that out because that was actually an attempt to...
That is something that actually happened on, the news. And we're just not going to get into politics right now. But with the economy what it is, you wonder why.
Yeah.
But I'm just saying some physical boundaries that, yes, we're not going to tell you to go and do something bad where you're going to blame it on the channel. But yeah, I am me. I tend to have a slight potty mouth. I'm not going to apologize for the way I talk. And if you don't like it, you can suck it.
Sometimes I edit stuff out. Sometimes I can't.
I'm just getting to that part where I'm just saying, basically, I am who I am. If you don't like the way I talk, then maybe this isn't the best thing to watch. That's just all I'm going to put. But going back to the nitty-gritty and the main focus of this video, and my brother's falling asleep beside me. Anyways, is it worth, and I'm going to say this again, is it worth to buy a PS5 Pro if you already have a PS5?
No.
Is it worth buying if you don't have a PS5?
I would honestly just buy the regular PS5 because you get a disc drive on top of that already built in for cheaper.
And we're not paid to say any console company is better than another.
And this is just our opinions. If you disagree, feel free to comment.
Exactly. Because we're not paid by Microsoft, we're not paid by Sony to do this rant. Actually, we probably would be sued by Sony, depending on how bad we're bashing on the PS5 Pro and if it's worth the amount of money that they're charging for. So, if we were being paid by Sony to push this product, I don't even think I would take their money because even looking at the specs and, just the fact that it's just a PS5 on visual steroids, it's not, it wouldn't be worth the amount of money that they would pay for us to really try to push the product, because you can't make miracles out of shit. Shit doesn't buy you miracles.
Have you tried? Have you tried pooping in your hand and selling and giving it to somebody?
I mean, that would really be pushing the line.
Have you tried pooping in your hand and giving it to somebody?
I haven't tried, but I've heard of other people trying it. So I'm not going to get into that.
Please don't do that, people. It just ends in a mess.
But honestly, the only thing I really have to say is, Sony, pump your brakes. Take a step back and really think about the people buying your product. Before you go and just take a console and strip it of what's already making it worth the money that it is. Slapping a Pro label on the end of it.
Yes.
It just to... I mean, you can't even, on good conscience, say that even is worthy of that price tag. Mm-hmm. Just to have that Pro label on it. Mm-hmm. So, like, I don't know what Sony's doing. I don't know what they're thinking. And clearly, apparently, I don't think they're thinking with their brains. I think they're thinking with their wallets. Mm-hmm. And I'm not okay with that. I'm not the kind of person to push a product and say it's okay to bankrupt other people just for an extra maybe $5 here, $5 there, whatever. Companies pay YouTubers to push their goddamn fucking products. I'm almost out of breath.
I think that's a good way to end it then.
But that was more me ranting.
Yeah.
Really.
You said all the highlights. I'm gonna have to do some heavy editing on this thing, but you said all the highlights.
I really want to push the fact that please don't push any hate to Sony. Please don't push any hate to Microsoft. If something that they're making, you think, and your honest opinion, is worth the money that they're charging for, then go ahead and buy their product.
Yeah.
Don't just shit on it all because someone else has their opinion.
And it's just our opinion. If you think the Pro's worth it, then by all means get it. But.
And if you really like Sony or Microsoft and you really hate what I say about it, you know, you can leave something in the comments down below, but do realize that kids do access the internet, and please do kind of keep it around PG-13. With that being said, say what you will. Everybody's geared towards their own opinion. This is a free country. This is a free platform. And, you know, I live in America. My brother lives in America. We both, I'm pretty sure, focus 100% on freedom of speech. And fully, without a doubt, believe in just the quality of your own individual opinion. And with that being said, this is Random Conflux. I'm going to have a sore throat in the morning.
I'm John.
I'm Zach. I'm not even going to pretend to be Go10 at this moment, or Gohan, or whatever.
Yeah, you kind of had an angry rant and killed your throat.
I got more recording to do besides this. By the way, the next video coming out will probably be before this or after this. I don't know. My brain hurts. I did too much math. But anyways, we got some Fallout towards coming. We got some Fallout builds coming. We got some Zelda coming. I don't know when it's going to happen, but it's going to happen. We'll see you next time on Random Conflux. Like, subscribe, comment down below.
See you guys later. Are you done?
Yes, go. Shoot.